Here he comes, 19 years of age, from Vancouver to Champions League winner. Congratulations, Alphonso Davies.
Brilliant.
The Calcio Guys is a weekly podcast by Adreano, Gianni Delacoli, and myself, Nicholas Di Giovanni. We want to bring Calcio back to its roots in our communities and share stories from around the world about why we're passionate about the beautiful game. You can listen to us anywhere where you listen to your podcasts, including Spreaker, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeart Radio, and Mixcloud. Give us your opinion on social media at The Calcio Guys on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The intro song is Fireworks by Jazar. We got an off-season episode of the Calcio Guys this week with Adreano Donardo and Gianni Delacoli. I'm Nicholas Di Giovanni. It's gonna be a more relaxed episode. We don't have a guest. We just have the Europa League, Champions League, talk about all the off-season transfer rumors. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. Can't wait to shoot the shit, talk some calcio, and yeah. I mean, it's been pretty exciting. We just got off of the Primavera Cup. Fiorentina took that, and I know Gianni is quite happy about that. Maybe some more Federico Chiesa's in the making. Maybe, I don't know, but it's always good to talk about.
Guys, it's just one player that I love from Fiorentina. You think I'm like an advocate for the team. I mean, it's nice if they do well, but Chiesa is just my boy. That's all.
Yeah. No, just a friendly jab.
So
it's okay.
We're going to talk about another young rising star in the world of football, of calcio, of soccer later on in the episode. But before we get into the
Who, Lionel Messi?
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to have to talk about him too.
Before we get into all the rumors surrounding Messi and all that around the Serie A, got a little story to tell you guys. We are recording this episode a bit earlier than we normally do because I told our friend Leo that I'd go play tennis with him tonight. He texted me on the weekend. He's like, you want to go play tennis Wednesday night? Yeah, sure, why not? He just came back. Well, he came back from Texas 2 weeks ago. He served the 2-week quarantine, and now he's out. He's out and about. So he's like, okay, you want to play? We'll play tennis Wednesday night. Yeah, sure. But then I completely forgot about it, and I texted you guys when you guys wanted to record the episode Wednesday night. Oh, okay, perfect. But then Leo texted me this morning. He's like, "Hey, are you still good for tennis?" Oh shit! I told Adreano and Gianni I'd record the Calcio Guys with them. So at the end, I felt bad. We're doing it earlier so I could fulfill my original promise. That's unlike a player in the world of football. Can you guess who?
Tell me.
Mr. David Silva. Apparently he told Lazio he would sign with them. That he had the contract signed and everything. And then last minute, Real Sociedad comes up with this weird announcement video where they just put a mannequin at midfield and put his jersey on. Did you see the video, Gianni?
No, but it sounds really strange.
Yeah, you have to go see it. It's one of the weirdest announcement videos I've ever seen. So unlike David Silva, I actually kept my promise. So I get to do both tonight. But Lazio, they got to be pissed off with that. What happened there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it was a shock news to all of us. Obviously, we haven't recorded since that news broke out, so we are reporting it now. But we were all pretty excited, I guess you can say, for David Silva coming to the Serie A. We all thought he would be a big addition to Lazio's team, to Lazio's midfield. And overall, team morale. That obviously didn't happen. The shock news, like Nicholas said, David Silva, going back home, I guess, to Spain. So at the same time, I guess it's not too crazy that, he went to Real Sociedad, going back home to Spain, maybe was in the cards. I don't know. There was just a bit of friction, I think, behind the scenes that maybe we didn't all see, with the news that we get reported and that we see online. But crazy. I know our boy Jerry Mancini wasn't too happy about that. He put out his little rant video about that, and I guess rightfully so. I mean, obviously, when you see these things in Calcio, you think just a couple more hours and a couple more days and everything will be good. But with the Calcio Mercato Madness, we like to call it, nothing's a sure thing until it is official. And it wasn't completely official with David Silva to Lazio. So it sucks. It sucks to lose a wizard like that to come to Serie A. But I think Lazio has definitely moved on since that news broke out, and they're on to bigger, better things.
But
it's
Gianni,
not the first time we see something like this actually happen in soccer. Yeah. Like Malcolm 2 years ago with Barcelona, he was supposed to come to Roma, and there's a hype behind it and everything. And as he's on the plane, his agent calls, Barcelona's interested in you. Okay, never mind. And then just, I don't know what happened there.
Rerouted the plane.
That. So, I think it just goes to show that in soccer, you should not take anything for granted until you see your team's official social media post show the player signing the contract on social media. I think that's when 100% you can be like, okay, he's on the team. Like until then, it's like, yeah, sure, anything's possible, but players fail physicals. Players, I don't know, change their mind last minute. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's kind of like Weston McKennie this morning, where the news kind of came out of nowhere that. Juve is really close to signing him on a loan. Like nobody even brought up his name, in this whole transfer, all these transfer rumors. And I told our friend Dom, I've learned to take all these rumors with a grain of salt and just wait until the club announces it. So Weston McKennie, if he ends up signing at Juve. It's one of those transfers where it comes out of the blue and it goes to show clubs are doing all kinds of work behind the scenes and nobody ever finds out about it. And then there's all these fake accounts like your uncle. I forget what account on Twitter said it, but they came up with this ridiculous rumor and the source was like Zio Pep by the grapevine. So that goes to show.
But you're right, and I think sometimes the best work goes behind the behind the scenes, closed doors. Sometimes when it's not out in the public and it comes and a transfer comes out of the blue, like Nicholas is saying. I think sometimes it could be the best transfers because with all the media that this stuff gets, it's sometimes crazy. Like one morning. It's one thing, you go take a shower, take a shit, you come back and it's another story. So like you guys are saying, and like the great Presidente Marcello says, wait until the official statement from the club is posted to get all your official news.
Or in Napoli's case, Aurelio De Laurentiis' official Twitter account.
That's it. There's only a
top
few
player.
Accounts. Exactly. There's a few accounts, few journalists that you like to trust, and Aurelio as well.
Hey, shout out to the guy who's running that Fabrizia Romano account there. That really caught a lot of people off guard. And I was like, wow. At the moment I'm reading this, I'm like, this is way too. Even just the rumor itself that was posted, I'm like, this is too ridiculous. I'm like, there's something a bit off. I clicked the account and I noticed it said Fabrizio Romano. I'm like, and then I see people in the comments actually falling for it. I'm like, oh no, it's like it was Bob McKenzie on TSN like a few years ago with trade deadline.
Yeah,
it was one of those situations.
Yeah.
It was one of those It was one of those situations all over again.
Unless we get a here we go from Fabrizio Romano verified it's not a real transfer.
That's it. Those people didn't have their morning coffee yet.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, actual soccer to talk about last week with the Europa League final.
In by Benega, in off the shoulder of Godin, spectacular, and in! Diego Carlos with the overhead kick. It took a big deflection. Romelu Lukaku back there to try and help out the Inter defense.
It was actually a good final. You know what? It was a good final. 3-2, a lot of back and forth. Inter played well, but I mean Sevilla, it's in the club's DNA to win Europa League. And like going in, I think they had a huge advantage. Like a lot of their players and staff weren't saying that because, last time they won, I think was 2016 or 17, the last time they won Europa League. And it's just
such a long time.
Yeah, different staff, different players. Julian Lopetegui never won a trophy. And at the end, it's an unfortunate own goal from Romelu Lukaku, and I think he was like their best player in the match, and he was the one getting the most hate. He was their best player all season. It's an unfortunate situation, that own goal. We even got a question on Twitter from Milan Obsession. Was Lukaku's own goal versus Sevilla perhaps the greatest goal ever scored in an Inter shirt? Oh, I gotta disagree very much. I mean, maybe if you're a Milan fan, but
friendly job.
Yeah, but you feel bad for Lukaku, and yeah, the hate just doesn't make sense. It's if you wanna direct hate towards Inter in that game, talk about their defense allowing two headers from De Jong there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think like you said, I think even just not even this game, or just not even Inter in general, just our Italian teams in Europe, just sometimes maybe besides Juve, this past probably decade or past couple of years, whatever, just the experiences in Europe and in finals lacks, right? So Inter against Sevilla, obviously, like Nicolas said, in their DNA, it sure is. It was their 6th time winning the Europa League against Inter this year now, and I think they just, even though it might not be all the same players, all the same coaching staff, whatever, it's in the club's DNA. They know what this means. They know what this final is, and I think that pays dividends. Come any final. So no real hard knock, I would say, to Inter in this game. I agree with Nick. Lukaku top in this match, and throughout the whole season, he did score a goal. He got that unfortunate own goal, a la Koulibaly against Juve. These are just unexpected things that just are unfortunate things that happen in Calcio sometimes. And the hate I don't agree with either. I know Inter came back. We're with you, Rom, or Big Rom, or however the hashtag was, and it's good to see. I think in these times it needs to be like that. And as for the game, I think it comes down to experiences, like I said, and Sevilla definitely has a lot of that.
It's one thing to score an own goal in like a regular season game, but in a big important game like Europa League final, it's just devastating on a player in terms of their morale and their I guess their charisma and just their confidence in general, And it's not like as if Lukaku had a terrible season. He was having he had a great season, and I think I could be completely wrong about the number, but I read it somewhere that his total amount of goals throughout all competitions this year was something like around 30 plus or something, 30 to 35.
35 plus, I think, like 35.
Yeah, it was. And you know what? For a debut year in a very tough defensive league, and also a team that you're going to have to play in multiple competitions, that's a very great number. And Inter pretty much got what they invested for in Lukaku in this first year. So it sucks that at the top of the cake, instead of having a cherry, you have a little tuna or something, or salmon, because of the sour taste of an own goal. But it can happen to almost anybody. So it's a lot of people were happy that yes, Inter lost, and I get why, because obviously there's rivalries and whatnot. But I mean, as a neutral, I mean, it would have been nice to see an Italian team win a European title. I would have been okay with it.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up because last week Carlo Gargagnese tweeted that, as Italian fans, we have to cheer for other Italian teams in European competition. And that brought up a lot of debate on Twitter.
To each their own.
Like sometimes way too personal, it's a personal choice, right? I personally
100%.
I personally disagree with the fact that you have to cheer for other Italian teams. If you want to, you want to. If you don't want to, you don't want to. Personally, I didn't want Inter to win just because it's Juve's biggest rival, and I just didn't want to hear it from the Inter fans about them winning Europa League when Juve lost 7 Champions Leagues, Will I cheer for other teams? Will I cheer for Napoli? Possibly. Will I cheer for Roma? For sure. Will I cheer for Lazio? Yeah, why not? Milan? I don't want to hear about you guys. But yeah, it, like some people took it way too personally, that comment.
Well, that discussion point is something that's very, you're playing with fire with that conversation, right? Because people, like you said, Nick, they do take it personally. I think it is a personal choice. You don't have to. I don't agree with that. You have to. Maybe we're saying it because we are across the pond. We aren't in Italy. I don't know. Maybe some people feel a different way. But in Italy, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty sure if you're a set Milan fan, Roma fan, Napoli fan, Juve fan, Inter fan, that it's that or nothing, right? So I think listen, club sides, support your club, and I think we hopefully can come together for the Italian national team, where club competition and club support kind of goes out the window a bit. But I mean, it would have been nice to see Inter win, maybe just to change some history, but. At the same time, they are the other side of Milano for me, and not the good side. So for me, I'm okay with the result, but at the same time, how it ended, it definitely sucks. No matter what the team you support.
On a personal level, it's like, Inter did stifle Roma from a couple of Scudetti back after Calcio Guys for those first few years when Juve was still kind of not rebranding, but kind of like rebuilding themselves and whatnot. And Roma were pretty much at their peak, and they were a very competitive team. And I know obviously I developed a bit of a dislike for them, but as you grow up and stuff, as you grow up, everybody like. They weren't a big rival. They're not a standard established rival for Roma, let's say, right? And even for Napoli, it's like, okay, Inter, they're a strong team, but there's no hatred between them, So I think the point at the end of the day is that does your team that you support have a big rivalry against them? If yes, okay, it makes sense that you don't want them to succeed. But if you don't really have a huge rivalry, then you know what? Just think of the bigger picture, I guess. I'm probably gonna get lynched for making comments like these, but I'm on the side that if it's not even a big rival of yours, just it'd be nice to see just for the country itself, just to have some kind of bragging rights over other leagues.
I think Adreano said it perfectly. Like the fact that we're in North America and we're not, depending how you're raised, but in Italy you got 3 major daily newspapers that talk only about sports, Tutto Sport, Corriere dello Sport, and Gazzetta dello Sport, and the rivalries run deep there, right? And it's ingrained in you from when you're a kid. Here, not so much, and it kind of reminds me of like hockey. Like I will never, ever cheer for the Boston Bruins or the Toronto Maple Leafs as a Montreal Canadiens fan. Never. That's because it's ingrained in me. It's part of our culture.
Speaking of hockey, Flyers just won.
Oh, my thing's delayed. Oh, I don't like that. Okay, we're going to continue talking about Inter, though.
Yeah.
Antonio Conte stays on as coach.
Big news.
I completely agree with that one. I mean, it wouldn't have made sense for him to get fired, especially after all the players he brought in and everything. I'm happy for him in a way, and for Inter, it just wouldn't have made sense to start over again when you got so close to the Scudetto this year, and you know that your rival Juventus is starting over with a new coach again.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I think we were all on the same boat in the terms of Conte staying. Obviously this was before his meeting with Steven Zhang, and apparently it went well. I mean, again, we just read what we see and what gets reported, but apparently the meeting went well, and I think, like Nick said, I think they did make the right decision to keep him on for at least another year. Then after this year, seeing how this year goes, maybe you can make a better decision. But like Nick has said, like we have all said, I think they put so much into this basket, this Conte basket, in investing in players, and spending, in the Mercato they spent quite a bit, right? And they've invested a lot into his plans, into his tactics. So to flush it all away after one hectic season in 2020, I think it would be a shame. And so I think we're all in the same boat that, it's good that he's staying on. We all know how Conte is as a manager, what he can do, what he can bring out of the players. Now let's see if he can take the team, up a notch and maybe finally dethrone the mighty Juventus. If it will be Inter, I don't know, but I think that's what they want as a club, and I think that's an objective. And if they say it's not, I call bullshit, because somebody has going to have to take down Juventus. I would hope it for it be Milan, but if it's Inter or any of these other teams, so be it. And so Conte staying at Inter, I think, is big news and important news for Inter fans.
And it's quite interesting because Conte's general style is basically to stay at a team for a season or two and then bounce. So I figured that I was on the side of surprise that he actually decided to stay. Not that I wanted him to leave. I was thinking that it would be better for him, like we said before, that he should stay, because you can't really base this project on a one season type of thing. So I was like, okay, he's just going to bounce and probably go to a more established team in terms of what their project is and try to win with them. Because I feel like he's the type of manager that comes in when they're actually at their peak, helps them win the championships, and then adios type of thing. But but I guess Inter management kind of worked some magic to kind of convince him to make him stick around, and it wasn't a complete failure of a project. And for the first year, it yielded results. Not actual physical trophies, but you finish second, you lose in a European final. It's
you'll be in Champions League next year.
Yeah,
they won both derbies.
Yeah, so they're maybe a couple of pieces away from actually being a championship winning team, realistically speaking. Whether it'll be on the Scudetto side, or heck, they might even have a fantastic Champions League push. Who knows? So him staying is great for Inter, and actually helps, especially with what Nick said before about I think it was Nick or AG, I lost track for a second, about the whole Pirlo situation, especially when your biggest rival now has an inexperienced coach. No disrespect to Pirlo, but you could capitalize on that. So I think maybe that's why he's like, okay, you know what? Let me stay for another season. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Okay, boys, what do you want to talk about next? You want to talk about Alphonso Davies or Leo Messi?
Our boy Alphonso, man. Wow, man.
Let's go with Fonzie.
Let's go with
Fonzie, man. For now.
It's amazing to see a Canadian kid, for those who don't know, we're Canadian here at the Calcio Guys. Our main focus is Italian soccer, but we gotta remain true to our roots here in Canada too.
Just for now.
Just for now, yeah. Our true to our roots. Gotta talk about the Canadian soccer community at the same time, right? As a general nod every so often.
True to our passports.
Our birth certificate.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Alphonso Davies, beautiful to see, and you know what? Just his story. The fact that he was born in a refugee camp and came to Canada at 5 years old, and went to school in Edmonton and played soccer for free in a program that was, made for kids, underprivileged kids to play soccer. Imagine this is just a program that was just made for kids who don't have much, just go out and have fun. And this guy who's playing it at 7, 8 years old, however old he was when he started, goes on to win a Champions League. Vancouver Whitecaps product, and it's a beautiful, beautiful story. The real, started from the bottom, and now he's here. Did you guys see the video? Did you guys see the video of him freaking out because Drake followed him on Instagram?
Drake followed him on Instagram.
No way.
I was going bananas. He's like, "Oh my God!" Whatever, and screaming and shit. But, I think it's so well deserved. Like Nick said, I think the story itself of Alphonso Davies just trumps everything. I personally love to see these types of stories. I remember we were talking about it. I mean, not on the same grand scheme of things, but with Juara for Bologna, just his story, and just a lot of these calcio players, these footballers, with their incredible stories. The whole refugee, born in a refugee camp in Ghana, coming to Canada, and for a better life. And I think he definitely, delivered. And I think he tweeted, who would have thought, a kid from Edmonton would win the Champions League. And credit to Bayern, credit to him. He's had a great start to his young career. Only 19 years old, I believe. I don't even think he's 20 yet, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he turns 20.
He's going to be
20 in November, if I'm not mistaken.
21.
Or is he 21?
Let me double check.
I have to look that up. I think he's born November 2000.
Yeah, exactly. So he's going to be turning 20, and
he's going to be turning 20. He's 19 years old.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So I think it's so remarkable that a 19-year-old Canadian international kid had an impact on one of the greater clubs in Europe, right? And winning the biggest trophy that you can win in Europe, right, in the Champions League. So I found it was just one of those moments where you're proud to be Canadian. And I think he represented us all well, and I hope nothing but for the best for the rest of his career. And you know what, he couldn't have been at a better club. I think Bayern. I think obviously, we want him to come to Serie A. That would be the dream. But, I think they do stuff well at Bayern, and, they got the job done. And, I think, just him being there gets these experiences. Like I've always said, these young players getting these experiences in Europe or on the big stage, jumping from MLS all the way up to Bayern. It's a big jump, especially at a young age. And he took it by the horns and became a focal point of this team. And, I'm so happy for him, and we all are so happy for him. And we hope nothing for the best for him. And we got to get him on the pod sometime soon, maybe let's shoot the shit with Fonzie.
We have to also notice the fact that as much as we're happy about it, he's not the first Canadian to do it. Technically, if you consider Owen Hargreaves Canadian, he's got 2 of them under his belt, one with Bayern, one with Man U.
So it's very
he
technical.
Represents. Yeah, but then if you're going for actual people who represent Canada, Khadisha Buchanan won it for the women's 3 years ago, and I think she has maybe 2 or 3 titles. She has 2.
Yeah.
She has 3 Champions League titles. So, and this week, this women's upcoming Champions League, we have Canadians on both sides. So, one of them, Canada's going to have another Champions League winner, whether one team wins versus the other. I believe it's the women's PSG versus
PSG.
Jordan.
The PSG lost to Lyon today. I think it was a semifinal.
So
PSG had Jordan Huitema and Ashley Lawrence, and
it wasn't the final.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the semifinal. Khadisha Buchanan. Okay. I'll look that up quickly. But yes, so Alphonso is the first Canadian men's international to win a Champions League.
Yes.
Owen Hargreaves, he doesn't count. He was born in Canada, but played for England. He doesn't count. Nobody talks about him. He's kind of like that forgotten son, that nobody talks about. Leon
won, 1-0 today.
Yeah, but Alphonso, so a lot of people are saying he's the best left back in the world right now. It's hard to argue. We had a question.
What competition does he have, though?
Yeah,
he won the treble this year. He won the treble with Bayern
as a starter.
So that's a big thing.
But in terms of the left back position, what competition does he have?
Exactly.
True.
And then our friend Dami asked on Instagram, is Alphonso Davies the fastest living organism on Earth? I mean, I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him and Andre DeGrasse in a 100-meter sprint. The Canadian sprinter.
It's funny. Me and my dad actually looked it up while the game was going on. Usain Bolt, in his prime, I believe, ran 5 miles an hour faster than Alphonso Davies' record time this year. I don't remember the exact numbers. I think it was like 22 miles an hour that Alphonso Davies was getting to. I don't know if that sounds crazy, but I remember something along those lines. And
I think he hit 36 kilometers per hour, which is faster than you could go in a school zone.
Exactly. So whatever the numbers were, there was a 5 kilometer mile gap in between Usain Bolt and Alphonso Davies, and Usain Bolt, fastest man alive, in his prime, and Alphonso Davies, a 19-year-old kid, right? So it's just crazy. He's faster than some animals, faster than cars in the school zone, like you're saying. And it's just crazy. I think, he's just so fast. It's ridiculous. Like it's crazy. Like I would love to see him in Serie A. I think he would bring a huge spark to any club in Serie A. I don't know if it would happen, but you never say never.
Maybe in the future.
I found a website that the only thing I like at Sport Bible, the only ones that's like the most recent stat for it, and this was back in April 2020. They clocked the fastest player this year, Kylian Mbappe, at 36 kilometers an hour.
I think Davies was the fastest in Bundesliga.
In Bundesliga,
but believe it or not, though, I don't see his name on the list here.
I don't remember where I saw it, but I did see it.
It was in May when the Bundesliga returned. But what I wanted to get at, so if Alphonso Davies is considered one of the best left backs in the world right now, some people even call him one of the best players in the world right now. I personally think that's a bit of a stretch. But,
yes,
but
left backs easily.
He's undoubtedly the best Canadian player in the world. But have we gotten to a point where Canada's best player is better than any player on Italy right now? Because you could argue that Alphonso Davies is better than any young Italian player. I think maybe Ciro Immobile is better than him overall. You know, Alphonso Davies 100% would start on Italy. There's no question about it. But we might be getting to the point where Canada's superstar is even better than Italy's superstar. I don't know if you guys would agree with me.
That's a bold statement, I think. I guess, what Italy has over Canada is the whole package, right? So,
exactly.
Even though it's one standout star in Alphonso Davies, and again, no knock to him, we do love him, but that's one player playing one position. We would absolutely 100% take him as our left back for Italy because we so fucking desperately need one. Unless Mancini goes, with the Spinazzola or maybe even Luca Pellegrini. But I don't know. I think that's bold. I think we do have some good young Italian talent, but it's hard to compare because you're not comparing. I find you're not comparing apples and apples, or you're comparing a bit of apples and oranges. You're not comparing the same position because if we would be saying just left backs, solely left backs, yeah, he blows all our left backs out, out of the water. But if you're saying, with every position available, I think that you can argue there's a bit more of a debate there, right? So I think again, Davies, fantastic player, and what names come to mind that can maybe match him in terms of potential for Italy? I mean, we speak about it every time we talk about the Italian national team. The Zaniolos, the Tonalis, maybe the Castrovillis, the Chiesas for Gianni, Orsolini is another name I like. So I don't know. I think again, we're not picking from the same basket when we discuss that point, in my opinion.
Yeah, It's not. Oh. You can't even. Somebody's at the door for me.
Somebody's home.
It's Alphonso Davies.
That's Alphonso Davies.
He's coming in.
He ran from
talking.
He ran from Germany.
Shit.
John, go get him.
He ran from Germany in the time that we talked about him.
Yeah. It's way too hard of a point to make because how do you define talent? What defines a player better than another player? Like, you have to look at a player from his purest position, I find, and that's where we can say that, yes, Davies is more talented than any left back that Italy has right now. Now, the thing is, Davies is not naturally a left back. He's naturally a winger, right? He was just put in the left back position because Munich didn't have any actual – well, no, I think it was an injury on their left back slot or what it was.
I think Alaba got hurt. Alaba got hurt and then he came in.
Yeah, Alba, there you go. That's it. I was like, it's like a Spanish name. It's not clicking to me. Yeah. So they had to fill in a hole there. So, and now that's when, so now if you look in his natural position, in the winger position, we have an abundance of talent in the winger slot in Italy, no matter where you look at it, no matter what age group. So from that point, it's hard to make the case that will he be a starter or not. I mean, in my eyes, if he's playing left wing, you're going to go with Insigne because Insigne has got more of the knowledge, I guess, of the game, of experience and whatnot, but Davies would definitely be a sub. Now, if you put him on the right, now he's got a better chance at starting. If you put him on his off wing, now you have guys like, okay, you have Chiesa who's young, or Orsolini who's young, and you got him. They're all going to compete for it. And there, Davies, you can argue that is going to be a starter on that spot. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I'm looking at things. I look at it like, okay, on the field, what's their competition and how can we define if it's more talented? Now, overall, different positions, it's hard to compare. If you're like the midfielder, even though he's not going to be one scoring goals or being fast, might be more talented than a left back because the midfielder might be smarter at the knowledge of the game because that midfielder's goal is to know the game. It's to know which to start that key pass. It's all about the key passes when you're a midfielder and depending on what slot you're in. So it's a really tough question. Left back slot though, left back slot easily better than whatever we have.
Absolutely.
Okay, now the big news of the week regarding the best player in the world, one of the two best players in the world. You know, we're not going to get into Ronaldo Messi debate because we're not Messi fanboys here, and we'll
be here all night. If
all
we
three
did.
of us don't like him. But the shock news coming yesterday that Messi requested to leave Barcelona. I mean, look, Davies just embarrassed him so badly.
Messi to Pescado, let's go.
Yeah. He could stay at my dad's uncle place.
I think his family's Abruzzes too, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, maybe, I don't know.
I think his mother's side Abruzzes, I'm not sure.
But we got two social media questions in. One of them a bit more serious, one of them a bit more as a joke. Tony Fabry asked if Messi can come to Serie A, what club would he join? Or rather, he asked, can Messi come to Serie A and what club? And then Milan Obsession asked, which newly promoted Serie A side deserves to have Messi the most? So we'll start with a serious question. I think everyone could kind of agree. Inter, if you're going to take all Serie A teams, Inter is at the forefront. I've said it before. I would love to recreate that rivalry, Ronaldo versus Messi in Serie A, the way that they did in La Liga. Does Inter have the means to bring him in? Maybe. And I think at this point, if I'm not mistaken, any team that brings him in is on a free because he is letting go of his contract with Barcelona. There's no transfer fee. If that's what I understood.
Clause on that thing.
If that's
release cost on that thing. 700 million euros or what the fuck was that?
It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
I don't even know what that was, but I saw that number. I almost shot myself. I didn't know what the hell. It was like, what the hell? But yeah, go on, Nick. Sorry.
But yeah, so do they have the means? I don't know, and it's tough right now. You know, post COVID, teams not making money, this and that. It would be fun to see Inter. A lot of people saying Juve. I don't see that. You know, they're offloading contracts because they're trying to break even and stuff. So I don't see him coming to Juve. Apparently his dad bought a house in Milan. Maybe he could go to AC Milan. I don't know, but I think Inter's at the forefront. Do I think he's going to join Inter? Maybe not. Man City's at winning the race right now. That I feel like that's where he's going to end up, which is going to be total bullshit because they just violated financial fair play rules 6 months ago and then got away with it.
Out of it. Yeah.
Got away with it, and now they're gonna potentially sign Messi. I would hate to see him go to Man City.
Yeah, I think. I mean, again, I agree with that. I think the only reason, or one of the main reasons for Man City being so far ahead, or we don't even know far ahead. How far ahead could they possibly be? Who knows? But it's because of Pep, right? Because they had some magic at Barcelona when Pep was there, and I believe that's when they won the Champions League too. So, or the last time they won the Champions League, I think Pep was there, right? So, I think obviously that connection, can pay dividends for Man City. I agree with Nick. Total BS if that were to happen. But going to the questions asked, what team in Serie A can he go to? I think it's too easy to say Inter. Even though I probably would agree with it. The Argentinian players seem to love Inter, or Inter loves their Argentines, whatever, however you want to put it. Yeah, Napoli too, but Inter, I find it's like Argentina's academy, and just it's crazy. But Zanetti's still there, right, pulling the strings up top too, and he has a big influence, a legend like him in Zanetti, that can definitely maybe persuade Messi to join. I think every fan of any club in Serie A wants Messi to join their club. I think it would be great for him to join Milan. Do I think it happens? Absolutely not. I just don't think some of these teams have the like Nick said, the funds or the means to do it. That's the big thing. Obviously, you're not going to have to pay for a transfer, but his contract is a demanding contract, right? So, but again, do I see him maybe coming to Serie A? Again, I would say it's very possible. Many people said Ronaldo will never come, and he came. Granted, it's a different situation, and scenarios were different, and Ronaldo has been elsewhere besides one club, like Messi. But I'm gonna go with the Inter. Even though back in my mind, I want him to come to Milan. I think logically, if anything were to happen, he would go to Inter. There would be that crazy rivalry between Ronaldo and Messi. Derby d'Italia would sell out fucking crazy. It would blow up. And yeah, I think will they finish off their careers in Italy? I don't know, but I think the rivalry will definitely be strong if he does come to Italy.
Yeah, so logic dictates Inter in terms of the Italian side.
Yeah.
And my only case argument that maybe Napoli might do is because Napoli in the past 5 seasons have been the only team that have been in the green, let's say. And Napoli does have a history. Yes, it's not as, let's say, absolutely rich like Inter in terms of Argentinians. Well, more recently Inter, but don't forget the greatest Argentinian. But I was getting to that, Nick.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Yeah,
yeah. Sorry, the greatest Argentinian of all time, Maradona, played for Napoli, and Higuain tied, before Immobile tied the scoring record with him, broke the scoring record, mixing up my verbs here, with Napoli. So Naples is like a great home for Argentinian stars to shine.
Lavezzi too.
Lavezzi was fantastic, my homeboy, but to be fair, like I always thank him for bringing up to Serie A, helping Napoli come up to Serie A and helping them be a strong team, but he's not going to He's more of like a local hero. He's not like one of those players that everybody talks about, let's say, or have done something significant. Even though he's a fantastic player, he's not one of those. But so that's the only argument that even Napoli has in the conversation. But besides that, it's very minuscule. The reason why I think he's probably going to go to the Prem is because they have the biggest clubs there in terms of revenue, income, everything, and they're the only teams that could probably even afford his wages. And B, the appeal. The Premier League is the Hollywood of soccer. Whether you like to admit it or not, it's always going to be the number one league because of the marketability in the Prem League, the hardcore fan base. We have a very strong fan base in Italy too, but even the smallest clubs will have 40, 50,000 people going to watch the games. It's a country that has the money, and it's all cameras and all eyes are always on the Premier League, no matter what you want to say or not about Italian soccer. Like, I will always prefer Serie A to the Premier League, but we have to call it as it is at the end of the day. So for Messi, obviously he wants to shine on the biggest stage, and he wants to go to a team that has the biggest opportunity to do it. So and especially with a team like Man City, who has the deepest pockets in the world, you can say, along with PSG and Man United.
Pockets, it seems like.
Yeah, deep
even
enough
Man United
to pay
also,
off UEFA.
Yeah. Even Man United, it's like, oh yeah, sure, let's pay 85 million euros for a defender that got arrested in Greece right now. But in all seriousness, like it's gonna be. I feel at the end of the day, it's gonna be if he signs with a new team, it's gonna be a Premier League team.
I think also sorry to cut you guys off. I just wanted to say it's been funny to see on Twitter, different accounts. Sampdoria's was funny. Our number 10 is available. Just hinting.
The Vancouver Whitecaps.
Vancouver Whitecaps.
That was the best one. Lionel Messi's DMs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, hear us out.
Yeah, exactly.
Chicago Bulls too.
Really?
Exactly. Everybody's jumping on it. But I think I also saw. Totti, I think, had a quote. He's like, if Messi were to come to Roma, I would go pick him up at the airport myself and hand him the number 10 jersey, which for Romans or any Roma fan, and Totti, that's like, that number 10 is like immortal, right? So would you think if he were to come to Serie A, in now this is going to more touch Gianni because it's his two teams, but do you think that would happen? Would he get the number 10 in Rome, and would he get it in Naples after Maradona did all his magic?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I think that's hard because
that's why I wanted to bring it up.
Okay, well, fair. Like the way I see it is like this, maybe. I think Maradona would actually allow Messi to wear his number, like how Paolo Maldini would allow his kids to wear his number if they would ever play on the actual main.
That's fellow.
But to be fair, like like there is like a bit of a father-son relationship between Maradona and Messi, you know, like I think Maradona, if in the magical world of fantasy land, that Messi does sign for Napoli, if Messi desperately wants that number 10, I think Maradona would actually be like, yeah, you know what, here. And I think they might have like some kind of, for sure, for marketability purposes, especially with Di Laurentiis, and he's so extra. That's what I love about him. He's so extra. I think they would do some kind of ceremony of like Maradona like presenting his number 10 jersey to Messi, or do like how Ray Bourque and Phil Esposito, or like back in the day when they retired Phil Esposito's number for the Bruins, he wore number 7. Ray Bourque was number 7. What Ray Bourque did on the jersey ceremony day was remove his number 7 jersey to show number 77 and gave the jersey to Phil Esposito. So it would be something like that. I think it would be like, if in a ridiculous world, it would be something like that. So, I mean,
Messi gets the number 10 in Naples. Does he get it in Rome as well?
No, Rome. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way, because
I think Totti would do. I think Totti would do it
for sure. I think so.
Yeah, me too. I kind of in the back of my mind, I think he would do it.
Like, he respects Messi, but I don't think he has. I don't think he has that level of attachment to Messi as Maradona has. You know what I'm saying?
Fair.
And Totti is the absolute greatest player of all time for Roma. He is. When you think AS Roma, you think Francesco Totti. I'm sorry. Like, at the end of the day, like, he is the main face of the franchise. And I don't, as much as he respects Lionel Messi, I don't think he would. I think there's not much of an attachment as Maradona has to Messi.
We got to ask that question to our fellow Roma and Napoli fans. Would Messi get the number 10 in Naples and in Rome? It's an interesting discussion point.
Okay, so the other question we got from Milan Obsession: which newly promoted Serie A team deserves Messi the most? I'll go with Benevento. Spezia, nice city near Cinque Terre. I'll go with Benevento, near Napoli. You know, you're not far from Rome. You know, you're still on the mainland. I mean, Crotone is on the mainland too, but it is pretty far south. You're gonna eat like a king in Benevento. You have to play in the beautiful stadium, Ciro Vigorito, I think it's called. Nice little stadium, beautiful jerseys, the yellow and red. Hey, I think Benevento deserves them the most. You get coached by Pippo Inzaghi. Not bad of a coach, not bad of a player. I don't know. Where do you guys see him if hypothetically he'd go to Spezia, Crotone, or Benevento?
I think Spezia.
I'll argue.
Go. No,
go. If you're gonna say Spezia, I'm gonna go with Crotone just to have the third argument in here. But it's the further south team. It's a very warm climate and stuff. It's nice and secluded. I mean, in terms of like where all the noise is in Italy, let's say, it's a bit away from it. But that's the only argument you can have for Crotone if it's gonna be it's a very weak argument. I'm just supporting Crotone because nobody's supporting Crotone.
No, I think I like the Benevento shout. The yellow and red stripes for Benevento. Maybe paying homage to the Catalan flag. So maybe Messi is going to be like, I got some of the same at Barcelona at Benevento. Maybe Benevento's the new Barcelona. Who knows? But joking aside, I think, and when we talk about deserve, the word deserving or deserve, Spezia deserves Messi. This is the first time in Serie A. Messi would just elevate that whole squad, that whole fan base up to a level they've never reached before, and maybe will never reach again. So I think, La Spezia definitely would deserve Messi, and what a story that would be if he would keep Spezia up in Serie A. Just because he puts the team on his back and keeps them up. I think that would be a story for many years to come.
Okay, well, we have one more question, kind of going back to the Europa League. I like this one. Another one from, you know what? Well, actually, we have one from Instagram. About Spezia. How do you think Spezia will do in Serie A this year? It's kind of hard to say.
That's from Cheetah Calcio USA, I believe.
Exactly. Huh? Yeah. Still kind of hard to say now. I don't know. I feel like they're one of those teams where anything could happen. They could either finish like in the top 10 or finish dead last. I don't think we know enough about Spezia. They've never played in the Serie A. They they look like a pretty good team. They did finish third in Serie B. They won the playoffs. They did look like a pretty good team. I think, they could possibly catch teams off guard solely based on the fact that teams don't know what they're going to expect from them. Crotone and Benevento, they played in the Serie A 3 years ago now. So some teams could kind of know what to expect from them playing the away games. They've played there before. All these teams have never played in Spezia. So, I think they could just be a dark horse. It'll be interesting to see also what kind of players they get. I think it's hard to predict the Serie A when we're still a couple of weeks away and there's still the whole transfer market to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I don't know. Again, no one to knock Spezia down before they even started their campaign, but I think they will struggle. I mean, I think it's only obvious that they're going to struggle. They're a small team coming up from Serie B, first time ever in their history to do that. But at the same time, just like I've always said about Atalanta in Champions League, when they first got into Champions League, these guys Spezia's got to play with no fear. Their backs are against the wall regardless. So, you have nothing really to lose. This is a big opportunity for the club, for the city, for the fans, to make some noise in Serie A. So I think they just got to leave it all on the pitch. Right now, they do have some good players. I don't know what their roster is going to look like, come the start of this season, if all these guys are going to be around. I don't know if any of them were loans or what have you, but they got some young Italians. I know, Giulio Maggiore, I think is a nice midfield there. They got the Ricci, I think they're brothers, the Ricci brothers, and Matteo and Federico Ricci. These are good, bottom end club players, right? So I think, like I said, they will struggle, no doubt about it. I don't see them cracking top 10. I hope they prove me wrong, but they'll probably finish near the bottom. But I hope, for maybe a miracle, and maybe they can survive and play in Serie A once again come the following campaign.
I think Spezia is probably going to be one of those teams that are probably going to stay at the bottom three unless they actually get some key loans that because I don't think they can outright buy any, let's say, Serie A top quality players or top quality youngsters. But I think they could take advantage at some teams having an excess amount of youth and maybe getting a couple of players on a loan just to keep them competitive, or just to keep them alive in Serie A, because at least you can get some share of the revenues for the league and some share of any type of bonuses or whatnot. So just to help funnel your team, because that's basically it. You're going up against a lot of teams that just, their values of their teams are in the hundreds, and your team's overall market value is like 20 million euros, or not even like $20 million type of thing, So so at that point, it's like, okay, you got to try to find any underrated or have some like really nice quiet moves that just keep you in there. If they don't do any of that, I see them staying in bottom three. But if they manage to prove me wrong, hey, I wouldn't mind them proving me wrong. I'm not saying I hate La Spezia. I'm just saying I don't see them getting out of there unless they
calling
do
a spade a spade. You're calling a spade a spade.
Calling a Spezia, why not?
That's it. Calling a Spezia. But yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I think there was another question though about Ibracadabra Zlatan prediction, how the season will finish 1-6. And who will be a surprise team next season, and the top scorers. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I saw that. We'll reserve that one. We'll reserve that one for our season preview that we're going to do.
It's a good call. Weeks. So we'll transfer that over to another episode. But another one I saw in the notes, Nick posted. What are these Halloween kids Juve put out? What the fuck is that?
Yeah. I saw on Twitter just before. Someone photoshopped the Juve logo and the Jeep logo on Fred Flintstone. but you know
what are your thoughts about it?
You know what? I'm personally not a big fan. It's thinking outside the box, but at the same time, it's a third kit. I saw someone tweet. I forget if I saw it on my Twitter, on the Calcio Guys Twitter. The third kit is meant to be different. There's no history in a third kit. That's what your first kit is for. That's what your second kit is for. You're allowed to experiment with your third kit. They're probably not even aware of it that much. I think it was 3 years ago, they had a third kit. I kid you not, they wore it once in the season, and it was in Verona. They wore it once. It was the like dark green one. It was actually really nice. I liked it, and they wore it once. God knows how many times they're gonna wear this one. The same could be said about Lazio's neon green one. Oof, that's an eye popper. That's a goalkeeper's kit put on a player.
Yeah. I mean, like even Napoli had the whole camo jersey look, and I really was not a big fan of the camo look, and Nick's got it right. It's okay to experiment. It's okay to try out new things, and with an alternate jersey, that's what I think of it in my head. It's nice to try out something different, just to give it a bit of a pizzazz or a bit of like a fresh look. Personally, I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of the color orange in general. Especially when if it's the primary color or if it's the dominant color of a shirt or just in anything, I'm like, it's you look like a gigantic pumpkin. But anyways, imagine, I mean, if Higuain would have stayed in Juve and didn't release his contract, there you go. That's a perfect description of a pumpkin on the field, of a jack-o'-lantern right there.
Fred Flintstone twinkle toes in the box or some shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, I mean, they did have Pepe on their team one year, so if sorry, not Zaza, not Pepe, Zaza. Yeah. So if they would have still had Zaza.
Oh, gotta guess.
Dinner time.
No, my brother's just being a ball buster.
But yeah, I agree with you guys with the orange. I don't know, like for example, Milan's third kid, like with that turquoise. Like I still don't know how I feel about it. Like
it's not even like
people
Milan.
Are saying it's like it's not Milan. It's more it's closer to a blue of Inter than a red of Milan. Obviously, the turquoise color is closer to blue than it is red. That's just obvious, but. Like Nick said, like I've seen on Twitter, or even about Lazio's away kit, that neon one. I saw our boy Sean and Steven SK Moore there talking about it, discussing how they don't mind it. It's something that catches the eye. These types of kits that go a bit off of course. Does every fan have to like it? Absolutely not. Will fans buy it? Yes. It's just the way it works. Fans will buy it. Fans will, buy the accessories, the training tops, the pants, whatever, the shirts. It is what it is, right? In this day and age. So, like it or not, that's what it is, and that's what it's going to be.
So that will do it for us. We'll be back next week. Italy plays next Friday. I'm super excited about that in the Nations League against the Netherlands. They play next Friday, September 4th.
That's where is that being played?
I forget.
Is it in
Italy?
And then
it's going to be in Italy?
I forget. And then Monday, September 7th, obviously in front of no fans, but it's the first time Italy plays since the last November. So I'm super excited about that. Wow. I'm speaking about kits, I wouldn't be surprised if Italy releases their highly anticipated new blue kit. I mean, it's been like waiting on the docks forever. I wouldn't be surprised if they release it next week for their matches.
That'd be interesting.
This upcoming weekend.
I could see that.
You made a mistake. Sorry, Nick. It's actually September 4th at 2:45 versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. September 7th is versus Holland.
Okay.
Is it in Italy? It's played in Italy.
According to Stadio Artemio Franchi. There you go.
They're in Florence.
Yeah, they're Florence. So it's gonna be a great. Bosnia's a solid team, so actually it's gonna be a great game to watch.
Well, they had them in. Didn't they have them in the qualifiers?
Yeah, exactly. They murdered.
Yeah,
them.
I think they got their number. I think
they were the 2014 Bosnia. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. I think Italy's got their number. I mean, I hope the players can be back into that mentality that they had back in November, like Nick was saying, and Mancini has the guys on course. But I think we'll be okay.
I just realized our group is Italy, Bosnia, Netherlands, and Poland. Ooh, that's a hard group.
It's a good group. That's the whole point of the Nations League. You got the top clubs playing each other.
I'd rather Italy play these big.
100%.
Play these bigger nations, especially now that we're having Euro 2021. Sorry, not Euro 2020, right? So
Euro 2020, but in 2021.
Exactly, and then the World Cup the year later. So. I want Italy to play these teams and get these experiences under their belt because come that tournament, it's only going to be the good teams in Europe, so or in the world come 2022. So I'm happy that they're playing them.
Damn, I'm working on the Friday.
Canada and Alphonso Davies scores against Joe Donnarumma.
Yeah, whatever.
If that game ever happens, I don't know. I wouldn't know how I feel. I'd probably stick with Italy.
I mean, World Cup 2026. Yeah. World Cup 2026. If Canada plays Italy in Montreal, imagine we get to be in the stadium and watch that.
Nah, we got to make it a goal. Calcio guys are going to be there. Calcio guys are going to be there. I don't know if we could say mark our words, because who knows?
Adri, we're almost going to be in our 30s by that point. We're going to have other responsibilities.
We'll be 34 at the time. Jesus, when that happens.
I'm saying it here today. What day is it today? August 26th, International Dog Day. God bless the dogs. But CK Billy. But Calcio guys will be there.
Guys, a lot of the games are on the East Coast anyway, so we could take a small road trip to any of the games, whether Italy plays in Montreal, Toronto, or any of or Boston or New York, because that's where the World Cup was in '94. Italy played a lot of their games in New York and Boston and Atlanta.
They officially finalize the seedings, but yeah.
No, but
wherever it is, it's close by.
Exactly, it's close by, and when the hell else are we going to have an opportunity to do this? God knows how many years. If
last North American World Cup was '94. Well,
94,
if you consider,
right? And I wasn't even, me and Nicholas weren't even born. So
94 USA, 98
This is our chance.
Gianni was.
Yeah, I think the last North American World Cup is '94, and exactly. You guys weren't born yet. I was 2.
You didn't go to the games, Gianni?
No, obviously not. But apparently, I was on TV saying Italia on CFCF 12 or something, according to what my mom says. But. Yeah, but anyway, so for us, this is gonna be something that we're gonna tell our kids in the future. So I mean, 100%, we have to make it like a goal. It was 6 years from now, anyways, guys. So we have plenty of time to plan for it.
Start saving the coins. Start saving the pennies or the quarters or whatever.
Anyways, boys, that will do it for us this week.
Yes, that will. Absolutely. Great episode, I found. It was a great open conversation. Loved it. Something new for us. We don't always get just a shoot the shit, just the three of us on camera or on record. But definitely follow us on all our social media platforms at the Calcio Guys on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. Catch our podcast on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Give us a like, subscribe, share it, and keep the Calcio love growing. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks for listening.
Ciao.
Bye.
The Calcio Guys is a weekly podcast by Adreano Donardo, Gianni Dellacoli, and myself, Nicholas DiGiovanni. We want to bring Calcio back to its roots in our communities and share stories from around the world about why we're passionate about the beautiful game. You can listen to us anywhere where you listen to your podcasts, including Spreaker, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeart Radio, and Mixcloud. Give us your opinion on social media at The Calcio Guys on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The outro song is The Last Ones by Jazar.